So this is my oregano. Oregano, they are resilient as well. I remember last summer I barely watered my oregano and it still managed to survive. I mean, like weeks, and I did not water my oregano. Now these, I am of the opinion that once you have oregano, you'll always have oregano. I've had oregano for over 3 years now, and sometimes I clip it all the way down. It was last week that I had clipped this down really low, because if you look here, it's kind of woody. So I tried to get rid of most of the wood I could, but I couldn't because it was so much. I had neglected my oregano for a while. You don't want these to go to flower, because then it will have a bitter taste. I had cut these, so this is a part of the cutting that I did, and I had cut some more, and actually have those that I cut, I have them drying so I can crush them into a fine form that I can use on my fish. So this is the oregano plant. This is my pineapple basil. Now this herb plant, it was really tall, but I had to prune it down. And like I said, don't be afraid to prune down your herb plants, because the more you prune them, the more they'll grow. So actually prune these down because it was getting a bit woody. And now look at it. Okay, and my sage. Now remember this sage plant, I'm gonna show you. My sage does better in pots than they do in the yard. I have sage somewhere else in the yard which I'll show you, and it's not doing really well, but the sage I have in the pot, it's doing so much better. My basil, apart from the pineapple basil, my basils do not, the other type of basil I have, it does not survive in the earth. So I have to put it in pots, and it does way better in pots, and I'll show you that as well. This is the other sage I have. This is not doing well, so I am going to remove these, wash them, and dry them, and forget about having sage right here. These are not doing well at all. Like I said, I don't waste food, or I try not to waste anything, so these are not going to be thrown away. Here I have my dill. I harvested these, I think last week, and I dried them, and then I sprinkle it onto my fish. This is thyme. So this I bought from the store, but if you look here, these are actually from seeds that I planted. And here, this is my curled parsley, and I really love parsley. And here, this is my celery. I did harvest these, and now it's growing up again. And here, please ignore all the weeds you're seeing. So this, we call this scallion, and I just bought scallion from the store. Then the bulb part I planted into the earth, and now I have scallion. So this is the scallion. Here, this is the garlic. So you plant the garlic bulb, and this section is actually, it has a richer flavor than the actual garlic itself. So all I did was just to plant the garlic, and voila. So I have, this is chocolate mint. I had a lot of them growing out in the yard, and so what I did, a friend of mine should have collected some. So what I did, I put these in water, and I'm going to put them in a flower pot, and when he comes I'll give them to him, because I didn't want to throw them away. And they're growing, because these, I did this last I did this like 4 days ago and they're looking good. And this is my sage in the pot. These are doing so good. And I planted some seeds as well, and the seeds are actually, they have sprouted. So these are the seeds that I planted and they're sprouting. So these love full sun, but when it comes on to the summer, you actually want these in a shaded area. So don't keep them in direct sunlight during the summer because the leaves get burnt. If you overwater these, the leaves will also get yellow and you don't want that. So that's my sage. Here is my basil. So my basil actually do much better. Please ignore the dog. These do much better in pots. And actually planted some seeds as well, and if you look, you'll see the seeds coming up. All right, so that's my basil, and I clip these ever so often. Like for example, here you see those smaller leaves. So if I pluck this section off, these will actually become bigger and you have a nice fluffy umbrella looking basil. So don't be afraid to clip your basil, but you always want to look for smaller leaves like that, and then you clip it just above it. You don't want to clip it too close to those leaves because you want support for those leaves, the smaller ones, when they're growing. All right, don't be afraid to clip your herbs. And I actually did these couple of days ago. So that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please check out my store at toganta.com.